Hello, guys. Welcome to another exciting episode on the show, Control or Be Controlled, a podcast designed to help you start thinking differently and take control of your life. And I remain your host, Darlington. Today's guest is Madison. Madison is the founder and CEO of MDZN Studio, a digital marketing agency helping small business owners cut through the noise and build a stronger presence online. Our journey started by managing social media accounts for friends and families and grew into a full service agency focused on content strategy, digital marketing, and paid advertising. Having grown up in the digital age, she brings a unique understanding of how online platforms evolve and how businesses can use them more effectively. Madison, welcome to the show.
Hello, I'm excited to be here.
All right, so is there something you would like to add to that introduction?
No, I think that was fantastic as is.
Okay, thank you so much. So I have some questions here for you, and I would like us to get into them. So you started managing social media accounts before you were even old enough to officially use some platforms. How did growing up online shape the way you understand marketing, audiences, and digital trends?
I think that growing up online definitely crafted my view of marketing. When somebody thinks of marketing, I immediately think of all of the digital marketing methods. So, primarily social media management, but also email marketing or blog writing or any way that you would find somebody online or find a business. Um, I think that there are a lot of other people that would probably think of billboards or newspaper ads or magazine ads and more physical, tangible, like in real life forms of marketing. And so I think that that's one way it has that being part of the generation that grew up online has really formed or I guess influenced what marketing is to me.
All right, thank you so much. So both of your parents are entrepreneurs. How did watching them build businesses influence your own mindset around entrepreneurship and creating MDZN Studio?
So my parents were actually very well, one, growing up and watching them be entrepreneurs and have their own business showed me a specific type of lifestyle. And I think through that lifestyle, I've seen the freedom that they are given to travel and work remotely or make their own schedules or even just have some more financial freedom and kind of the more untapped possible or uncapped, so unlimited amounts of income that you can kind of make from being an entrepreneur, whereas in a more traditional role you're limited to whatever salary the company has agreed you to pay. You have to request time off, and there are just a lot more limitations to the role. Of course, with that, there's also how difficult it is to be an entrepreneur and how how much time it does take. I mean, there's one thing that people say is I started my own business, so I didn't have to work 40 hours a week for somebody else, but now I work 80 hours a week for myself. So it's just because people see small business owners or entrepreneurs working remote and working from vacation and doing all these things that they have the opportunity to, it doesn't mean that they're not also working very hard. I would argue sometimes maybe even harder than somebody who can just clock in and clock out of a job. And so that's how I kind of grew up seeing it and what was my initial inspiration. But in 2020 and 2021, there was an opportunity for me because I had clients. I was managing multiple social media accounts just for friends and family, and I was getting paid a little bit here and there. And my mom as you mentioned, my parents are both entrepreneurs. My mom actually encouraged and helped me to get my LLC, and I created my business from there. And because of that, I was able to kind of kickstart into my career at a young age, not just my career, but my own small business journey. And so without the support and encouragement from her, I'm not sure that that's something I would have sought out immediately and decided to pursue.
Okay, thank you so much. So moving on, many small business owners feel overwhelmed by social media and marketing. What is the biggest mistake you see them making online? And why do so many businesses struggle with it?
I think that when it comes to marketing online for small businesses, there's a lot of information out there. There's a lot of you should be on Instagram, you should be on TikTok, you should be on YouTube, because everybody has their own path to success. But that looks very different for every business. And with each of those platforms, there are also rules within that, where on Instagram, like, you're supposed to be posting 5 days a week at 7 a.m. every day, or on TikTok, you're supposed to post 3 times a day. And there are so many different rules and guidelines that it feels like creators and other small business owners, or maybe influencers who have found success on these platforms, there's so much information that is out there. And it can be really overwhelming for small business owners. It can feel like the lift is too much, or it can feel like they're constantly not doing enough. And there's just, I don't know, different ways to go about it. So I just think that small business owners are overwhelmed by all the information that's out there. And sometimes you just need to be focused on one specific platform or one tool and grow from there, but start small and grow.
Okay, thank you so much. So moving on, what separates businesses that use social media effectively from those that simply post consistently without seeing results?
I think the brands that are doing it effectively know exactly who they're targeting, and they know what their audience is looking for online. So they're not just posting a product and hoping that people like it. They are posting something funny that speaks directly to the pain point of their ideal customer. They're posting content that resonates with their ideal customer and something that can convert them from just a follower online to a real client of the brand.
Okay, so many entrepreneurs try to do everything themselves when it comes to marketing. When should a business owner consider bringing in outside help?
I think when it becomes too much, or when the marketing starts to slip to the bottom of your to-do list, because there are a lot of business owners out there who maybe starting out, marketing is something that you can do and you have an hour or two every week to sit down and do all of that. But when it comes to marketing, you have to be consistent, and it is something that you have to prioritize. Otherwise, you are going to turn into one of those brands that's just putting stuff out there to put stuff out there. There's no strategy, and you're not crafting real content that can resonate with your audience in a good way. So, I think, it's time to hire help when you just don't have time for it, or you feel like you're just kind of throwing stuff at the wall to see what sticks. And if it's just when you're lacking strategy and you lack the time and effort that it goes into it, hire somebody who can.
All right, thank you, Madison. So, paid advertising can be intimidating, especially for small companies. What should business owners understand before investing money into ads?
Sorry, could you repeat the question?
Paid advertising can be very intimidating, especially for small companies. What should business owners understand before investing money into ads?
I think, again, it's who are you targeting, because a big part of ad strategy is targeting the right people. And so you have to know where your customers live. You have to know what age they are. Are they a specific gender? Are they in specific countries, states, or cities? And then even in your ad creative, you have to speak to what is the transformation they're going to go through? Why do they need your product or service? What is their pain point that your product or service solves for them? And put all of those ideas into an ad, and that's how you can find a little bit more success with it instead of just going out and slapping your logo on something and putting some ad spend behind it. That's something that you can do, and that's something that a lot of people do, but it's not an effective ad strategy, and you end up just wasting a lot of money.
Okay, so digital marketing changes constantly. How do you stay ahead of trends while helping clients focus on strategies that actually create long-term growth?
I think there's a lot that you can do with trends, but I think that crafting your own original content and speaking to your audience is often a better strategy. I also know that trends are great. Trends are fun and they can be helpful. And one way to stay on top of them is like me and my team, we're all chronically online. So when we start to see a post or a sound or an idea come up more than once, we know that, okay, this is something that's trending. And it's not about just copying the content, but it's more, how can we turn this content into, how can we turn this trend into something relevant to the brand? It's not just using the audio randomly, it's finding out how we can apply it to the audience or to our product or service, and having it really connect with the audience instead of it just being another trendy post out there. What can we use about this trend to help make us stand out? And I think it's also important to note that not every trend is for every brand. So it's not all about following trends sometimes, but it's just about knowing your audience and knowing how to connect with them.
Madison. So for a small business owner who's listening today, who feels lost with their online presence, what is one step they can take right now to start improving their marketing?
I think if you're feeling lost, just focus on one thing. Like I said earlier, there's a lot of tips and tricks and tools and different things out there that you can do. But if you have a lot of marketing efforts going on, take a step back and look at it and look at what are you doing really well? And how can we hone in on that, focus on that, and pull pieces from it? And let's say maybe you're doing a newsletter really, really well. What's actually going into your newsletter? Is it the graphics that are connecting with people? Is it the content? Is it what you're linking out to? And then you can repurpose that for social media, or you can repurpose that into a blog post or something. And that's how you can grow your marketing from there. But start small and start with what you're good at, and then figure out how you can almost replicate that in different ways through different mediums to start growing your marketing a little bit more.
All right. So, Madison, what is one question you wish I would have asked you that I have not asked you?
That's a great question. I think why do small businesses even need digital marketing? Why do they need social media? And the answer is because I think that a lot of social media isn't about lead generation or sales necessarily 100% of the time. Social media is about building community and another access point for people to understand your brand and what it is. So it's not about following all the trends or posting an ad and getting sales and getting leads directly. It's posting content that resonates with a very specific type of person and building a community for them to return to, where they know that other followers and other people on here are feeling the same and they don't feel as alone, and they're your product or service is one way that helps connect like-minded people.
Well, thank you so much, Madison Richard. Thank you for sharing your insights on digital marketing, entrepreneurship, and helping small business grow in an increasingly competitive online world. So, for listeners who want to learn more about MDZN Studio, your services, or connect with you, where can they find you?
You can find us on Instagram or on LinkedIn. And you can also go to our website, mdznstudio.com, and there's a contact form on there. So if you want to connect, I'd be happy to chat more. And we'll also have some free resources coming out soon. So definitely follow us along on social media if digital marketing or social media management is something you're interested in. And we're happy to help.
All right, once again, thank you so much for coming to my show. I also want to thank all my listeners for taking out their time to tune in today and listening to us once again. They are the backbone of this show as well. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Darlington. It was a pleasure.